Hello and welcome to Tax Matters. My name is Chiamaka Ohaochi. How was the Salah holiday? It is hoped that you had a restful holiday and that we are all refreshed for a brand new week. This week is a great one, the week of the annual tax conference. Yes, the 23rd annual tax conference holds in Kaduna from Tuesday the 18th of May to Friday the 21st. Among those attending the conference are the new chassis members of the CITN, who were only just inducted on Saturday, the 24th of April 2021. The 44th induction ceremony was preceded by a 3-day pre-induction orientation program, which held from Wednesday the 21st to Friday the 23rd of April 2021. Welcoming the inductees, Dr. Karim Adedoku of the CITN Academy began by reiterating the superintending power of the CITN over tax practice in Nigeria.
At the outset, may I feel confident to inform you of the indisputable fact that the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria is the sole statutory body established to regulate tax practice in Nigeria, and this has been judicially confirmed by court of competent jurisdiction. It is with this confidence in me that I welcome you all to this special occasion. It is an orientation event where the prospective members of our Grace Institute are to be brought up to speed on the expected roles, responsibilities, and other organizational attributes and concepts that will help you in your efficient transition into seasoned tax professionals.
The pre-induction orientation program was attended by the full complement of the top echelon of the CITN, including the President, Dame Olajumoke Simplice, council members, the registrar, and a host of others.
The pre-induction program is an integral part of the processes leading up to admission into the membership role of our institute, in accordance with Council's approved guidelines. The institute admits qualified persons in compliance with the provisions of Section 1A of the CITN Charter, which empowers the institute to determine what standard of knowledge and skills are to be attained by persons seeking to become registered members of the taxation profession in Nigeria.
The orientation program also featured an interactive session at which inductees were afforded the opportunity to seek clarification on the CITN and their roles and responsibilities as members.
What can we do as a professional body to ensure that tax proceeds that the government agencies and bodies earn from the masses is actually pulled back to providing resources for the masses? That's number one. Number two, what can we do in a situation where you have obvious double taxations?
What can we do to ensure that tax proceeds are used for what it is meant? You know, even the revenue offices, they can only collect and remit the proceeds. They do not have the power to say, this is what you should use. But it's moral suasion that we normally will apply. I think what we need to do as a professional body is what we are doing.
Now, we need to be very careful. We need to know the distinction between taxation or taxes and levy, because we mix the two. We were recently in Senegal, and between the airport, a very beautiful airport that you will wonder is in West Africa, and the city center, we passed through 4 toll gates. So as we are moving, I asked the man who was driving us, I said, so you pay willingly at all this? He has no choice. So, but is that a tax? No, it's a levy. It's a levy you pay to drive through that fantastic road they had over there. So when you pay levy, you get direct benefit for what you are paid for. But when it has to do with taxes, there is no direct benefit. The government collect the money from everybody, put in a pool, use their discretion to distribute. So we say it's the money paid for civilization. But I can't deny the fact that there are issues. But we need to know the distinction. If you talk of double taxation, the source of the money must be the same. The authority collecting must be the same. For example, if you are paying pay as you earn, that's under personal income tax, your salary must be taxed twice by the same government. Then you can talk of double taxation. Anything outside of this, no. Now, multiplicity of taxes. I can relate with this. And I'm happy you went into specific in your question and contribution. Particularly if you look at VAT and sales tax, there's a thin line. And you have that with the people operating in the hospitality business sector in Lagos, not in all states of the Federation. There's an issue in that point. Now, this discussion will lead me to another point, the trust issue. Somebody talked about what has been collected, how has government been able to fully utilize that. Then the chicken at the end, which one comes first? Should the government go and borrow money to put all the infrastructures in place so that you can have trust that whatever you put in their hand will be properly utilized? Or you blink first and you pay and hold them accountable? Practically speaking, I think we need to pay first and hold our government accountable.
On Saturday, 24th April, the formal induction was held. Mr. Benjamin Omonayojo, Chairman Membership and Professional Conduct Committee of the CITN, flagged off the ceremony with his welcome address.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this great event, a significant one in the annals of the Institute, as eligible personalities are being inducted as valued members of this great institute. For us, it's a remarkable event as it presents the symbolic unleashing of a force of qualified tax practitioners and administrators who are the future leaders in the field of taxation.
While stating the importance of taxation in her opening remarks, the President and Chairman-in-Council of the Institute, Dame Olajumoke Simplis, highlighted the place of the CITN in policy formulation, as well as the expectation of the Institute from the government.
At governmental level, it is important that tax policy initiatives and reviews in tax laws are well thought out and followed through. We have consciously seen government's efforts in the amendment of our tax laws through the Finance Act 2019, followed by the Finance Act 2020. Government must avoid the propensity to introduce earmark taxes with the intention of raising revenues while neglecting the impact that such action will have on businesses and economic activities. As a matter of fact, the thinking of sections 226 of the revised National Tax Policy 2017 is that, and I quote, taxes should be few in number, broad-based, and high revenue yielding. In effect, the administration of the taxes should be simplified for ease of enforcement and compliance. It will interest you to know that the Institute presented its position paper on the Finance Act 2020 during the public hearing, and we are proud to inform you that most of the recommendations of the Institute were considered and incorporated into the Finance Act.
And this charge.
Let me also inform you that most of the amendments into the tax laws that you see over the years emanated from CITN. From now, you are part of that. Let us have your opinion. Be part of this change.
Special guest of honor at the event was the Auditor General of Lagos State, who delivered the keynote address and declared the event open.
Taxation remains the largest source of revenue for any government, and the quantum and utilization of which certainly inform the level of development of the state or the country. Remember that you are the go-between, the middleman between your client, that is the taxpayers, and the government. It behoves you to ensure that your service to your clients does not inhibit state ability to optimally collect tax revenue. This is where your integrity as a tax professional comes into play. I therefore admonish you to always ensure a win-win situation exists between your client and the state, because in the long run, the tax revenue will define us as a country and also as people. I urge you to embrace technology as they unfold. I expect you to equally embrace continuous professional development. I also encourage you to embrace change and growth mindset. I encourage you also to embrace self-discipline, and this is where our character comes to play.
And then the high point of the event.
The 14th president, you have standing before you in this hall and on the social platform a total of 285 inductees. 19 of them are graduates. This category of people wrote and passed the professional exam of the institute. 21 of them are ACCA members. They've undergone the 2-day conversion program from Monday 19th to Tuesday 20th of April 2021, while the others are coming in through the direct membership route. All of them, except the graduates, have attended the 3-day pre-induction orientation program from Wednesday 21st to Friday 23rd April 2021. They are all qualified for admission as members of this great institute. In accordance with the CITN Charter, CITN Act, Cap C10 Volume 2, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, I hereby recommend that you induct them as associate members of the institute.
By the powers conferred on me as the President Chairman of Council of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, I hereby call on all inductees to raise their right hands and take the oath of allegiance as follows. I do solemnly swear that I shall always comply with the provisions of the Institute's charter.
Here is congratulating all the new inductees and wishing them the very best in their endeavors. Remember, in this business of tax compliance, do not attempt to navigate the field by yourself. Avail yourself of the services of qualified and duly registered tax practitioners. You have a whole lot of them out there, including these new ones at your beck and call. Consult them, use them. And talking about chartered tax practitioners, these are men and women who plied their trade either as tax administrators working in government tax offices at federal and state levels or as tax advisors in private practice. At the apex of tax administration in Nigeria is the Federal Inland Revenue Service. For administrative convenience, the FIRS runs on the basis of 6 groups. In continuation of our FIRS Unveiled series, we want to serve you today an interview with the Coordinating Director, Executive Chairman's Group, Mr. M.L. Abubakar. We have observed Mr. Abubakar speaking at different fora about the group he heads.
The Executive Chairman's Group is in charge of coordinating the activities of the service. The strategies developed by various groups are coordinated and all aimed at ensuring that we deliver on our mandate.
I have the protection and encouragement of the EC to call the Executive Chairman's Group as the one on the driver's seat.
Yes, the Executive Chairman's Group is in the driver's seat, overseeing everyone and every department at the FIRS. Mr. Abubakar, thank you for joining us on Tax Matters.
Thank you very much.
Sir, as the Coordinating Director, Executive Chairman's Group, you have a bird's-eye view of all that is happening at the FIRS, as well as with regards to its relationship with its various stakeholders. So we ask you to share with our viewers, what is the focus of the Muhammad Nami administration? What are its goals?
Yes, first and foremost, the mandate of the Federal Inland Revenue Service is very paramount to us. We are saddled with responsibility of collecting taxes for the government. In doing this, we set out goals for ourselves. Specifically, when the present Executive Chairman was appointed, that is Mr. Muhammad Nami, he he came up with a 4 strategic plan, or what we call 4 cardinal pillars for himself and for us. And one of it is rebuilding the Federal Inland Revenue institutional framework. Secondly, is to create a robust collaboration mechanism between the Federal Inland Revenue Service and other stakeholders, particularly other government revenue collecting agencies. Thirdly, is also to make to create a taxpayer-centric institution. That is to say, where focus is on the taxpayer. Taxpayer is king, creating a friendly environment for the taxpayers so that at ease they can discharge their responsibility. The fourth goal is to make use of data and information on taxpayer. We have 6 operational groups. These groups in turn supervise various departments. In Executive Chairman Group, for example, we have 5 departments. These departments include communication department. We have procurement department under that group. We have PRS, that is planning, research, and statistics department under the group. We also have the security and safety department. Other responsibility in that group is collaboration with other stakeholders. So by and large, we've achieved a lot through this structure, in the sense that we're able to see where there are overlaps. We are working on them to ensure that such overlap, if necessary, then there should be a dotted line in the relationship between them, where there should be adequate handshake. As you can also see, the last the 2020 revenue performance, where we did 98% of the targets. And not only that, what is interesting in that performance is the fact that the collections are even more from non-oil revenue, which has been our main focus. We are trying to de-emphasize reliance on oil revenue. We all know the problem associated with that. And that's what we have set out for ourselves. Even in this current year, we want to see that we collect more from non-oil. The 2019 Finance Act clearly states the fact that emphasis should be more on indirect taxes rather than direct taxes. Now, when we say indirect taxes, we're talking more on taxes that are based on income. Well, indirect taxes will be taxes that are based on either consumption or services rendered. Take value-added tax, for example. In 2019 Finance Act, there was an increase of value-added tax from 5% to 7.5%. That's to say, laying more emphasis on indirect tax. As you can see, VAT is a form of indirect tax. And in that Act 2, in that Act 2, there was a reduction or a kind of review of tax rates. From categories of companies were even exempted from tax. Companies that, small companies that earn below 25 million naira clearly were exempted from paying tax and graduated upwards to from 30% down to as low as 20% in some cases, as the case may be. So that shows that there is less emphasis on direct taxes and more on indirect taxes. So what is there? The wisdom is that let there be more disposable income in the hands of individuals or in the hands of taxpayers. What you all need is to deploy, to put a mechanism in place that will seamlessly allow deduction of relevant taxes when these transactions are taking place. And that's why automation that we're talking about is very relevant. We deploy solutions that will enable seamless administration of taxes. If, for example, you walk into a supermarket, you make your purchases, while making payments, you pay at the counter, the receipt is given to you, the VAT payable is indicated. As you're making payments, seamlessly, the portion of VAT should go straight to the tax authority. How would that be possible unless you have you automate your system? That's what we're focusing on. That's what we want to achieve as we move on.
Do you provide goods and services? Then you must answer these important questions. Are you registered for VAT? Do you charge VAT on the goods and services you provide? Do you keep records of all your transactions? Do you file VAT returns? Do you remit VAT collected to government coffers? If your answer to any of these questions is no, then you are breaking the law. The law demands total compliance. Therefore, you must register for VAT. You must charge VAT on goods and services. You must file VAT returns. And you must remit all VAT collected on behalf of government within 21 days to the bank nearest to you. To do otherwise is a crime punishable everywhere in the world. VAT is prescribed by the law. Do the right thing. Collect and pay VAT. This message is from the FIRS. It pays to pay your tax.
Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you very much.
We want to thank you most sincerely for watching. See you next week.